March 13, 1990, I was in a F5 tornado. It was Friday the 13th. We can see in the esoteric side that Friday the 13th is unlucky because that's when the Templars were disbanded, and that is how the ancient mystery school religion of Enoch the Evil has been passed through time, through the Templars to the Freemasons, to the furthering of the Gnostic teachings, and that has infiltrated Judaism, Kabbalah, and the Jesuits. And ever since then, I've had these recurring dreams where there would just be tornadoes all around, and I knew that it was the end of time. It was the apocalypse. And as you guys, if you've been watching my videos, you know that I was just in a tornado. I had a front row seat. It came right by my house, and it was the EF3, and I stopped having those recurring dreams, and they became dreams where there would be these lights in the sky, and there would be, it was UFOs, lots of UFO dreams. But in these dreams, I'm not really afraid. It's more of amazement. But after I was in that F5 tornado, I kind of became infatuated with storms. I would go storm chasing for fun, trying to see another tornado. And in all of my years doing that, I only saw one funnel cloud. And 1 week ago, I had another tornado pass right by my house. I'll show it to you here. Same spot it was before. We got a very low cloud and some tornado sirens. Now, it was a funnel, and it didn't manifest into one that touched the ground, but we had tornado sirens going off, and I was able to film this in the exact same spot that I filmed the first one about a year ago. And the first tornado was within the realm of the couple days of the high occult holiday of May 1st. And this one is within a couple days of the summer solstice, another high occult holiday. Now, of course, this could be just a coincidence, and it certainly may be, but last year, when that tornado happened, at the same time, there was this incident in Las Vegas where there was seemingly a comet that went down, and then this family says they saw giant beings that looked like gray aliens, and when these beings looked at the people, they were paralyzed, and there was a predator-like shielding effect. And in that interview, they said that they said a prayer and they heard that being screaming outside. In my last video, I tied this to, this is very similar to sleep paralysis experiences. And it made me go back and think about the last time that I had sleep paralysis, and that is in the context of my first video when I was coming off of pharmaceutical medications and I got extremely sick, and I think I almost didn't make it through that experience. And I was just thinking about what it was like for me as I was really opened up to that spiritual realm, and how events in the world were happening where God was opening my eyes and drawing me to Him. And it really was a pivotal time in my life. And this I would say when I really made the decision to just go all in for God, I was extremely sick, but I was seeing signs that there were things going on. So this time period, if you remember back in 2017, it was August 21st, there was the Great American Eclipse. And it passed through 7 Salems and it went across the US. And then in 2024, there's supposed to be another crossing, another eclipse that centers in Little Egypt. And I've talked about this in my previous videos. I won't go too much into it, but that coupled with a very unique sign in the sky, the September 23rd, 2017 Revelation 12 sign. And this is the sign where there's the woman who has the moon at her feet and the sun above her head and the stars above her head, and she's about to give birth, and the dragon is seeking to devour the child. And that occurred for the first time since Revelation was written. That same sign occurred, and it was pointing to Yeshua's first coming. So the child in the first occurrence is the birth of Yeshua, Jesus. And it happening again for the first time, that exact same astrological event, really made me sit down and think, wow, we might be close to his second coming. And so that Revelation 12 sign happened 33 days after the first crossing of the eclipse. And so I was just pondering all this. It was weird that, I was having this sleep paralysis, and then this alien event happened in Las Vegas, and my tornado dreams, where I'm seeing tornadoes all over, and then within 1 year, I see 2 tornadoes. And, my first dream after last week, this tornado that just went by my house again, I had another alien dream. And so I was just thinking about all this, and I started looking at some of the dates. And so we're going to talk about some maybe coincidental, maybe not, but I think these tornadoes, if nothing else, are pointing me back to the time that we're in. So let's talk about that. Okay, so here we have the timeline. The first eclipse happened 8/21/2017. Like I said, 33 days later, September 23rd, 2017, we have the Revelation 12 sign. Now, what's interesting is from the first eclipse to the first tornado is 4 years, 8 months, and 8 days. This points to eclipse 2, because that occurs on 4/8/2024. 2 plus 2 plus 4 is 8. 4, 8, 8. From the first tornado to the eclipse, 4/8/8. Okay, maybe a coincidence, but this second tornado to the end, to the second eclipse, 9 months and 23 days. 3 days short of 300 days, 297 days. So we have 9/23 and 3/3. If we go back to the first eclipse, the date of the Revelation 12 sign is 9/23, 33 days from the first eclipse. But what's more disturbing is the amount of time between the first eclipse and the second eclipse is 2,422 days. Now, if you take August 21st, 2017, and you add 6 days, then 6 weeks, then 6 months, and 6 years, that's the exact amount of time to the second eclipse. And another disturbing thing is that smack dab in the middle of this, 1,211 days on either side, which is December 14, 2020, the first COVID jab was administered. Revelation also tells us that the whole world will be deceived by Mystery Babylon's pharmakia. I know I certainly was earlier in my journey, but can it really be coincidence that the first jab was given right in the middle of the 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, and 6 days? Our Evil Enoch series has covered how alchemy and Gnosticism and Kabbalah, Freemasonry, Rosicrucianism, they're all this mystery school religion taught by the Watchers that have been passed down through time. And that is the origin of pharmakia too. And we've talked about how these mystery schools were transferred from the fallen Watchers to the strongholds of Egypt and Babylon, which were then filtered through those mystery schools that I was talking about. And do you guys remember in 2017, there was a mass, let's call it a ritual, where there was somebody in a hotel that opened fire on a bunch of people right in front of that Black Pyramid in Las Vegas? Guess how long it was from that until the recent Las Vegas UFO sighting? 67 months exactly. So 6 and 7 together is the transitional period. 7,000 years total. The Sabbath, rest of the whole earth, the 1,000-year reign, is from transitioning 6,000 years of humanity to the 7,000th year reign of the Messiah. Or the occult version would be their return of Atlantis, their millennial reign. And so we've talked about how they do magical rituals, again passed down from the Watchers, how pyramids are forefront in these rituals, and how there are mass killings to open portals to allow communication with the other side. And how Aleister Crowley did a ritual in the Great Pyramid to contact Lamb, the Grey, who said, "We are known as angels and demons, but in the future will be known as something else." And so this is all tying together. I think we're seeing a glimpse into how things are working behind the scenes, how there's spiritual powers that are orchestrating all of this with the help from mankind and their rituals to bring about the return of the Watchers, the return of the spiritual fallen realm. That's going to be a great deception that's going to fool a lot of people. And one interesting thing about the X is it is the Hebrew letter Tav. Now, Tav is the end. It is the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet, which equals 22. And numerologically, it is equal to 400. And since 6,000 years is the end of our age, it can be broken up into 3 2,000-year periods. So we have an age being 2,000 years, and Tav equaling 422. What is the number of days between the first leg of the X and the second leg? 2,422, making the Tav. 2,000 is the end of the age. 422 both equal the Tav. Please seek Yeshua with all of your heart. I do believe time is running out. I love you guys.